Hello and welcome to CadoinkStudios. I am back in action. I had Christmas break just finished and I had to travel back to Kansas. I do go to school at K-State and this is my first replay in Kansas. I made a League of Legends video with Sean, which you should check out on the channel. And now I'm back in action playing StarCraft 2 and casting StarCraft 2 replays. So today I have for you a game between two of my favorite players personally. We do have EmpireKas, the red Terran, spawning in the top right position of Tal'Darim Altar. And in the bottom left we have his opponent WhiteRa. WhiteRa, the blue Protoss player, very good Protoss player, player who likes to build a lot of warp gates. And we do have EmpireKas, a very fantastic Terran, perhaps my favorite Terran player at this time. I've been watching him a lot on the stream, on his stream, and I casted one of his games before, and actually, interestingly, the same time I casted his game, as I was uploading it, Day9 did a daily on the same game I casted, which was a game I watched live. And this is a game between EmpireKas and WhiteRa. It was uploaded just recently, but it may have been from a series I watched live that Total Biscuit did, perhaps a few weeks ago, where EmpireKas did a little show match between with WhiteRa, and I think Team Revoki funded it or hosted it, so that was very cool. That was fun to watch. I don't know if videos are up for that. We do see an early expansion coming for EmpireKas. This is something he has done a lot against Protoss, so I think it's going to be increasingly more popular. In this case it is quite safe, as WhiteRa is doing the same, taking his expansion. But taking an early expansion is something EmpireKas loves to do against Protoss, and he manages to hold off against Protoss attacks very well with just a Marine Marauder force by taking this expansion really early. In fact, sometimes we even see him put a third command center in his base. You might do this game, you might not, and with that third command center he just sits it there and uses mules and waits before taking the third and gets a little bit of extra SCVs out. So that's really quite cool from EmpireKas. While in the Protoss base we do have the gateway coming after the expansion. We do see one assimilator up at this time for WhiteRa, while EmpireKas is getting a very late refinery. I don't know when it will go up, if it will go up. I imagine it will. I don't think he could go the whole game without getting any gas. And he is pumping out some Marines. He should be building a bunker at his front sometime soon, just to make sure that this is protected. And he's sending out a scout quite late. He's going to be scouting the south position first, and when he sees that he is not there, he will move on to the left position, I believe, bottom left. Back in WhiteRa's base we do see a gateway and cybernetics core coming down, pretty usual thing. WhiteRa likes to build quite a bit of gateways. In fact, we do see a third gateway going down at this time, and the bunker is finally going down for EmpireKas, as his expansion is now finished, and his orbital as well, casting down a mule there in his natural. WhiteRa's base up as well, building some probes. Both players seem to be quite even at this time, both taking very early expansions. We do see a Zealot going down the south position. Wow, even going to start chipping away at these rocks. He might think he is safe to take a third at this time, which would be very cool for WhiteRa, as he will have these 3 gateways up, and warp gates should be finished by the time these destructible rocks have been destroyed, especially by one Zealot just kind of chipping away. Back in EmpireKas' base we see he is not building that third command center's base, but instead he is building 2 more barracks, so we will see a heavy barracks play. And actually we do see a command center getting ready to take an early third. He is going to be destroying these destructible rocks with his Marine force. I think this is a good decision by EmpireKas, preparing to take a third. However, he does not know too much about what's going on in the Protoss player's base, so it could be a bit risky, as there might be some sort of 2-base all-in play from WhiteRa. However, it may not be the case. In fact, he is trying to chip away at these destructible rocks and take his third as well. EmpireKas looks like he may be able to destroy his rocks a little bit earlier, and since he started his command center well before the Nexus will be started. EmpireKas will probably have an expansion lead over WhiteRa. However, WhiteRa is a very good player. He will be able to come back from such things. I do like that he is keeping this watchtower. I would like both players to be a little more active about poking around the map, making sure nothing silly is going on. But both players are really good at doing this sort of thing. We do see Marines moving out to this ramp at this time, making sure there are no pylons hidden around here, and making sure that nothing will run up and get this third as he takes it. Do you see the orbital is coming up at the same time as this Nexus is started, and he will be able to finish this and fly it over very soon. EmpireKas is building just Marines at this time. In fact, he's putting down 3 tech labs and a reactor, building no units, actually canceling one of the tech labs in favor of a reactor so that he'll have more Marines. Rather than more Marauders, he will be able to crank out 4 Marines at a time as well as 2 Marauders. He is indeed getting a missile turret at this time as well as +1 upgrade in STEM. I do not know if this is in anticipation of maybe a Dark Templar push here at the 8-minute 47-second mark, or if it's just to destroy those obnoxious little observers that fly around. Both senses are very good. We do see that there is a bit of an upgrade lead for WhiteRa. WhiteRa is working on his +1 ground armor, which is about halfway done, and his charge is nearly done. Zealot legs, which is really good. For WhiteRa, he will be able to run up and slice up these Marines quite easily. EmpireKas moving his Marines to this watchtower. The probe is going to be running away, but we do see WhiteRa being very active about putting pylons around the map. It's good for scouting and it's good for warpins, so that's going to be really exciting for WhiteRa as well. He's also taking these watchtowers, and EmpireKas knows that WhiteRa is going to be very good about taking watchtowers, and so he will be well, he did look like he was going to try to force that watchtower out of WhiteRa's hands, but he is not at this time. He is moving around trying to decide what to do, and he does see some stalkers out of position. He will be able to take them out quite easily. You see quite a large zealot force for WhiteRa at this time, as well as a pylon here that will be picked off by these Marines and Marauders. And he is scouting around for more pylons. I think that EmpireKas has a very good sense of knowing that WhiteRa is going to put pylons around. We do see that STEM and +1 upgrades are not finished at this time, and it is going to be crucial because there is an attack coming at this time. +1 armor for WhiteRa as well as Zealot legs. He is going to be able to run forward and try to pick off some of these SCVs, forcing this expansion to float away. He doesn't have enough stalkers to pick off this expansion at this time, but he is going to be able to shut it down for a while, as he is going to have to float this back here and then float it back when he's done. We do see a starport going up for EmpireKas as well as a Ghost Academy. Going to be preparing for those EMPs as well as those Vikings, maybe even Medivacs, if he does not see Colossi, which there is no Colossi at this time. In fact, we don't even see a Robo. I don't even see a Robo. Oh, we do see one Robo. That isn't doing too much. WhiteRa is building a bunch of gateways, which is what he likes to do. WhiteRa is a very gateway-heavy player, and he's also very active about having control of the center of this map. This is Tal'Darim Altar, so control is very important as it is quite a big map. And we do see that EmpireKas is working on taking his expansion once again. Looks like he will be able to secure it this time. He has quite a bit of Marines and Marauders. While WhiteRa does have a lot of Zealots, WhiteRa does love Zealots. He loves Zealot legs, and who can blame him? They are quite good. WhiteRa at this time is taking his 4th expansion. I think that this is a very good decision. He's very safe at this time. He has map control. He shut down EmpireKas' 3rd. This is just the perfect time to take a 4th base, and it is well protected as he does have his force running around this area of the map. EmpireKas put his factory here. Make sure he's scouting that out, making sure that there is no attack coming. We do see he is cranking out some Medivacs at this time. He's going to be probably doing some drops. EmpireKas loves doing drops, and he is very good at it. It's very fun watching him play on his stream and do just drops everywhere and just crushing people. We do see 6 Marines at a time as well as 3 Marauders, which is quite scary. And he is moving into the center of the map, try to take some map control. I think this is a good decision. trying to take these watchtowers, keep more control, so that he can afford to start taking expansions and keeping his expansion safe. But we do see that quite a bit more zealots are coming out, as well as, look at this, some High Templar. He's going to be doing some storms, which will be very bad for EmpireKas, as he only has 2 ghosts on the way. He's going to need those ghosts to EMP or snipe those High Templar, which is quite a difficult thing to do in my experience. Of course, these are very pro players, so it won't be too much of a trouble for them, but it is still rather difficult. We do see a drop at this time. WhiteRa has taken a 5th base, and he is making some zealots and High Templar. And oh, look at that! He feedbacks the Medivacs, and he is building an Archon. And here comes some zealots to try to pick up this force. But at the same time, WhiteRa is attacking in the north position, trying to take out this 30. He is going to be backing up a little to try to cast some storms. He casts a very good storm, hitting a lot of these units. We do see some EMPs and snipes going down at this time. But wow, EmpireKas' army is clumped up very nicely for WhiteRa, and WhiteRa is casting a lot of storms, even willing to run his zealots through the storms to pick out the rest of the force. And EmpireKas' army does go down at the same time as the 4th base for WhiteRa, but WhiteRa is up a base, having 4 bases to EmpireKas' 2 now that his expansion is going to have to run away. He's going to have to move this command center as well. WhiteRa being very active at harassing this 3rd. Oh, he even picks off that command center. Big blunder by EmpireKas as he doesn't float it up, and it looks like he's going to be in a lot of trouble as he doesn't have much in the way. He has a few Marines as well as some Ghosts, and some Marauders are popping out at this time, as well as a Viking to try to deal with the well, there was Colossi, but they are now gone. He is bringing some forces back to do some reinforcements, as well as working on that +3 upgrade. And we do see Thermal Lance coming for WhiteRa at this time, as well as some cannons to make sure he's protecting his expansions. At this time, why not? He has 1,000 minerals, and he's effectively shut down EmpireKas' 3rd. Might as well build some static defenses to prevent those obnoxious drops. He can kind of afford to not manually protect that, as it were. We do see some more Colossi coming out for WhiteRa, as well as more High Templar and Archons. Archons being very good against these bald armies, as well as Storms and Colossi. We do see that an Archon a little bit off guard, but it is going to be able to meet back up with the rest of its army. EmpireKas debating a drop, but now he's deciding to choose otherwise because he is worried about the attack that could be on its way. We do see that WhiteRa is taking another 5th down here in the bottom right position, as well as the 6th back in that this position here in the south position. He is moving forward a little bit. I like how he is very active about keeping these watchtowers, even building a pylon here to be able to warp in units. And he is going to be once again going for this 3rd, the 3rd that isn't even there. In fact, EmpireKas is just moving him in, and here comes the Archons and Zealots getting up the ramp. We have no kind of scouting other than this factory, and WhiteRa is going to be going in and shutting down this 3rd. EmpireKas is going to have to do something big. He's going to have to get off some good EMPs, but there are quite a bit of Colossi, 4 Colossi, as well as 3 Archons. We do see High Templar coming down and storming the Marines and Marauders. Right as they stem, they are going to be quite softened by the High Templar storm, and they are just crumbling to this force. Absolutely nothing lost by WhiteRa, as he has a ton of Archons and a ton of Colossi. And there's the G, just the G by EmpireKas. He does do a smiley face beforehand, so I don't know if that's out of anger. I know that when Liquid Ret is angry, he just types G. But yeah, wow, that was an incredible play by WhiteRa, shutting down EmpireKas' 3rd over and over and over again. He was able to take another 3rd down here, but it was just a little bit too late, and he couldn't do enough to this huge Colossi, Archon, High Templar, Zealot Stalker force that WhiteRa is so good at building up and so good at utilizing. Yeah, it's just a fantastic play by WhiteRa. I think EmpireKas did well, but not well enough against WhiteRa. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the replay. There will be more to come, more League of Legends videos as well. We're going to be doing some more Minecraft. We're going to do an Amnesia series, all sorts of fun stuff for you guys. If you guys would, please comment below and tell me what you think. Like the video, subscribe, and we will have tons more content coming your way. Enjoy.